Welcome to another episode of the Solid Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon.
Sorry, I wish they could see what was happening before we started filming.
Right, okay.
Great intro.
Serious.
Let's just roll with it. This is going to make a great intro.
Okay, yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Solid. This is going to be a good one.
It is going to be a good one. We have, first of all, Jefferson Fieldstead.
Jefferson.
Okay, we got to start over because we're just messing. Okay.
No, this is too good. This is too good.
This isn't going to be the blooper.
It might be.
What's going on?
One of your hosts, Jeff Fieldstead, to my right. Say hi, Jeff.
What's up, everybody?
Brandon Neal, I'm another one of your hosts. To my far left, we have Jefferson Rogers.
Hey, hey.
Sometimes we call him Jeffro, because our videographer and podcast coordinator and expert is also named Jefferson, so he's also in the room, but you can't see him.
Yeah, you basically got to be named Jeff to come work with JKR.
There's three Jeff or Jeffersons, and then to
Pretty
my
much
other
a
left,
shoe-in.
yeah, true. Then to my close left, our very special guest, Cody Webber, and this is I'm super. This might be our best episode yet, and I've had the pleasure and privilege of knowing Cody Webber. I'm struggling today.
It'll be our most watched podcast of all time.
Yeah. Anyway, I've known Cody for quite a few years now. We actually got associated through, he found out he was struggling with coyote hunting, and I'm a really great coyote caller. So he got a hold of me one time, says, "Can I take you to lunch?" I said, "Sure."
Yeah.
Isn't that where it started?
Yeah.
A few years ago?
I had to interview you to see if you were worthy to go hunt with me.
True. That is true.
That's what he said. He's like, "Is this an interview to see if I can go hunt with you?"
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So that is true. So he knew I was really good, and he wanted to learn from me. So he tricked me into thinking he was the good one, took me to lunch, bought my lunch. Anyway, so that's where our relationship started. And I'm grateful, actually, that he got a hold of me. I've known of Cody Webber for a very long time because he's grown up in this area. And anyone I've ever known who knows Cody Webber knows, from what I can tell, that he's an incredible human being. I know he's an incredible human being, but that is really true. Everybody that knows you, you have a great reputation. And incredible family, three incredible, I can't really call them boys anymore, they're men now. Incredible wife, and he's also a hunting guide, which I think we'll talk a lot about because he's taken some guys up to places like Alaska, and they've gotten those big giant Yukon moose, like world record class type moose, really big ones. A lot of good elk hunting you do too. He's an okay coyote caller. Not real good at it, but he's okay. And deer, elk, bear,
Anything.
fishing, anything in the outdoors.
You ever hunt turkey?
One time. People
Never went back, huh?
No. People tell me, "Oh, I killed the turkey." This guy came out, told me how great his turkey hunt was. I'm really, I went turkey hunting once.
Well,
That's all it took.
Didn't stick.
what did I miss, Cody? Tell us a little bit about you. Let's maybe, I don't know, where do you want?
My background, I grew up in Orem until I was 16, moved to St. George in 1989, and just Dixie High and Pineview High, and I went to Pineview High School, graduated in 91, and life was way more different back then than it is now. Boulevard didn't have the median. We'd cruise down the boulevard for fun. I mean, that was every Friday, Saturday night. That's where you went for fun, and so I'm still a little hurt that I'm not a native. I get jealous of all these people here that are, their great-great-grandpa was sent down here in 1861 to start the cotton mill or whatever. So I have a few friends that are like that, but yeah, my family's the first family here, so there's not a lot of Webbers here. So yeah.
All right, cool. So one other fun fact about you as well is you have a good friend when he sends you great memes every day at the best times, right?
Oh yeah.
And Jeff was giving me a hard time about the memes that I send him, but I always just forward yours to him. And they're inspirational.
And he's the only one that I send those memes or reels to. Everybody else would be disappointed.
Yeah, right.
That's so funny.
No. Well, talk to us a little bit about, just what maybe we don't get to talk about hunting a whole lot on this
Okay.
podcast.
Love hunting.
And I do too. I think there's so many things that apply with hunting and life, and raising your boys even just your life, you know, what you've learned from it, what it's taught you. Maybe talk about how you got into it way back.
Okay.
Your dad used to take you. You're one of those guys that used to hunt before it was cool. That's what I like to say too.
Yeah.
I hunted before it was cool. Now it's kind of a cool thing to do, but you've done it for a very long time.
Yeah. So I started off a couple times a year we would go hunting. My dad, worked hard, was in construction and didn't get a whole lot of time off, but it was like Christmas for me when it was time for the deer hunt. I started when I was like 6 years old. I started going with my dad. I remember the first few times we would go. One time it snowed really deep, and I learned that, hey, you can go walk through 2 feet of snow and freeze and still be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I remember another lesson I learned with my dad was we hunted down in the Fish Lake area a lot, and I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and we were out hunting in the woods, and it got dark. And I remember being a little bit worried and scared, but my dad wasn't scared at all. And so my dad's not scared of the dark. I'm not going to be scared of the dark. So just little life lessons that I remember, even back to that age. I remember the first buck that we got, just a little 2-point, but I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And I ended up taking back then, we didn't get tags until we were 14. So when I was 15, they changed that rule that you could be 14. So in 1988,
you are old, by the way. That's a long time ago.
That's way.
Yeah.
I know. So 1988, it was all over the counter. So I just bought an over-the-counter tag. I was 15 years old, up on Fish Lake, and we jumped a herd of bucks. Back then, it had to be 3 or 4 point better. I can't remember which one it was. And there was a lot of deer back then, and you'd see a lot of nice bucks. And
was this up by Fish Lake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the booby hole area, and we went in and me and my dad and my uncle were together, and we spotted this group. Anyway, somehow we got a little split up, and my dad, he's a worrier. If you know my dad, he's just a worrier. So I got in there, and we got split up and didn't see the bucks, but up there the leaves fall on those quakies, and so you can hear anything just crunch, crunch, crunch. So I was just walking through, and all of a sudden I heard just a deer crunching. I looked down, and this big old buck just coming right to me. And I had my dad's 243 that he'd had forever, and I just waited until that buck stopped, and I leaned up against the quakey and pulled the trigger, and he fell, and I started screaming and yelling.
That's your first deer?
Yeah, my first deer, 28-inch.
Unbelievable.
4x3. 28-inch 4x3.
Unbelievable.
So I'm by myself, and I start screaming and yelling like I just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And my dad, I'd never seen him run so hard. He came around the corner running up to me, and he thought I'd shot myself. So
you were so excited.
So that's a memory. I mean, I was 15 years old and kind of got spoiled with that buck.
Yeah. When was the next time you killed a deer even close to that?
Yeah. A couple of them have been about that big, but yeah, it was pretty special.
Yeah.
And I had a 1953 Willys Jeep that we packed it out in, and it's a good old before 4-wheelers.
Mm-hmm.
So good
That's
times.
awesome.
Good times.
That's cool.
I've forgot more hunting stories than I can remember.
I bet you couldn't carry that one out on your back, though.
No.
My first deer was so little I could just put it on my back when I was 15.
Yeah. My first one we used to do the muzzleloader hunt. And so, but it took me a few years to get my first deer. And I just so happened so the first couple, I just never had a shot at one, And of course, your dad feels like a failure when he can't get his son his first deer. That's how it was for the first couple of years. But finally, just was in the right place, right time. And a buck came right below me, but he was already injured from, I think, the archery hunt before. Mm-hmm. His front shoulder was all messed up. But that was my first deer. Shot that one. But
Mine was actually already injured too.
Was it really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's nice to get a deer that's injured, because they weren't going to make it. Mine wasn't going to make it. He would have died for sure. Yeah. So that was a good thing.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think about where we've come. You never even had to worry about getting a tag. You just went and got $25 and went and bought your deer tag.
Yeah, for sure.
And now we're praying that we can draw it once every 5 years. And
I know.
And our youth are totally fading away because we can't give them the hunting experience. And
Well, I think you've done a good job too. Just talking to your boys. They've worked here with us at JKR a little bit too. Both Luke and Ty, and Zed's on his mission right now. But I think you've done a good job overall of getting them out in the outdoors, much as you can. You try every chance you get. I know you got some mules, and what would you say is the benefit of that as as a father, getting your kids out in the outdoors and or doing something other than maybe sitting on the screen all day?
yeah, I mean, that's the hard part, is that it's easy when they're little, because they're just, I mean, I'd come home from work and they knew I was going out to the cabin or out on the mountain, and especially Zed, he'd have his bags packed and his camo on and his bow and his gun, and Dad, I'm ready to go. And a lot of times it wasn't the right time, and he'd cry and break his heart. And then all of a sudden he's 14, 15 years old, and I'm begging him to come, and he's got cooler things to do. And we don't have cell service, which I love. We do now because everybody's got it everywhere now. But he couldn't come out there because he would lose his snap streak on Snapchat. So I lost out to that.
Yeah.
Where I'd say, hey, let's go kill some coyotes. And one time I had to pick him up, take him kicking and screaming, and we went out there and we killed 4 coyotes in the morning, and it was the best day ever. And he actually shot one of them, so it was.
That's good. That's cool.
So I think, I talk to my buddies all the time, but our kids are so spoiled because we didn't get, like I said, I went deer hunting three days out of the year when I was a kid. I've had years where I've hunted 60 days out of the year.
Yeah.
And I've taken my kids and we're spotting another 60 days out of the year.
Yeah.
So it's it's a whole different, and my kids, I think they've had some great opportunities, but we give our kids what we wish we would have had, and we spoil them. So, I mean, I've taken my kids to Africa and really spoiled them.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Zed said, Dad, why don't we just hunt here every year? The peak sucks. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
there's
well,
just
it's
game
kind of a big
everywhere.
deal. Kind of a big deal to come here.
Right.
So,
Yeah, they do get spoiled. But even when we were younger too, you would see more game. It seems like you could get out there and you'd see more deer, you'd see more of everything, right? There were just less people out doing it. I was telling Jeff, he's wearing these pants today. See these pants? I used to have a pair of pants just like these 30 years ago, but they weren't cool. Now they're obviously
Well, that's because
cool.
you were wearing them.
Well, it was hunting before it was cool, right? But do you remember, did you have a pair of pants like this?
yeah,
Yeah.
Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. And they were like that color and everything. Now Jeff wears
real
them. They're
tree.
they're like a high end.
They're awesome.
You probably paid like $500 for that pair of
I
pants.
don't know. Definitely not $5
Okay.
bucks, but
Yeah, but times have definitely changed. Well, yeah, I think there's a lot of. I mean, we could talk about hunting memories. Probably this whole podcast. You probably have quite a few too.
Oh boy.
But same thing. I remember being, just probably my first hunting memory. I don't know how old I was. I was probably 6 or 7. And my dad took me out and got up real early one morning, and I just remember hiking up a really, really steep hill, getting on top of a big rock that we sat on all day, and just sat and watched. And we'd see deer come by, and we'd hear, it was during the rifle hunt, and you'd hear some rifle shots every once in a while. And I remember seeing a few deer come by, a few bucks come by, and he was waiting for a bigger deer, so we didn't shoot any that day. But one of my best memories was we built a little fire, and we cooked little Vienna sausages. Like he brought this little, we cooked those, and then we had some sardines and crackers. And I don't know, that memory, that was so cool, just to be out with Dad, eating that food, and just those times you spend when no one else is around. I was like 6 or 7. That was a long time ago. And I remember that. And then I remember other times where I was 11, and he drew out for this hunt called the Ponsegont. And a really good hunt, a lot of big deer there. But I just happened to be hunting with him and my uncle. And it was the middle of the day, and him and my uncle went and took a nap at camp. And so I'm 11 years old. I don't want to take a nap. So I got my pellet gun, went and hunt rabbits. And I'm out there hunting, and before I know it, I get all turned around, and I get lost. And it wasn't good, right? We're out in the middle of nowhere. And I knew where the highway was, but I remember, having to go out to the highway, and then I'd run back, try to find camp, couldn't find camp, run back to the highway, go, and I started just panicking, And I don't know how much time went by, but finally I knew if I went to the highway, and I knew where there was a dirt road that would lead me back to camp, but the dirt road was miles down the road. So I ended up getting out on the highway, and there was a semi coming the opposite direction of where I needed to go. But and there was actually two semis coming, one coming this way, one coming the other way. For whatever reason, I just flagged down the opposite one that was going the opposite way, but flagged him down. He pulls over. He's this young kid, something must be wrong. So I go and jump up, open the semi door, and he goes, "What's wrong?" I go, "I'm lost." And he goes, "Well, what do you want me to do?" I go, "Well, can you take me back to the dirt road back the other way?" And he's in a big semi truck. How can he turn that thing around, right? He goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to go into town to turn around though." I'm like, "Okay." Well, so I hop in. I got my pellet gun. I'm like, if this guy's a bad guy, I'll just shoot him in the eyeball. That's what I thought. Anyway, I hop in, and he goes all the way into town, turns around, flips around, comes back, and gets me on the right dirt road. And I start walking down the dirt road. And by that time, there was another guy looking for me because my dad and uncle were asking for help. And the guy's name, Ryan Hatch's name, actually is from Kanab. He pulled, if you know Ryan, yeah. He pulls up. "Hey, your dad's looking for you." Man, that was, anyway, got back to camp, and my dad's terrified. He's like, "Did you pray?" I go, "Yeah, I prayed." "Did you pray?" He goes, "Yeah, I prayed." I go, "Must have worked." I got, but anyway, just one of those special experiences you don't want to have again, but you get out there and things happen. Yeah. And this is before radios and cell phones and all that stuff, and it could have turned out pretty ugly, but luckily got back. So that's a couple of my earlier hunting memories. Life lessons, I guess. And then, you learn to pay more attention when you're out too. I've never been lost since. If I've been lost in a situation where I knew how to get back for sure,
Don't get lost by yourself.
Don't get lost by yourself. Yeah, make sure people know where you're at.
You ever been lost in a snowstorm?
No. Like a blizzard snowstorm where you can't see.
Which was up or down?
Yeah. It was like being in the twilight zone. I was tracking an elk, and it was fresh tracks, it was still like the fleas were still moving in the snow. I felt like I was right on it. But now it's getting dark, and I had just walked like 3 miles through the snow, and it's 3 miles from a road. And I'm like, he gets to this really deep ravine, and it's 2 feet of snow. So not only that is I've been post holing through snow, and my legs are beat.
You're wore out.
How old are you?
This was probably 5 years ago. Okay. So I was 37.
Just a young guy.
Just a young guy.
Was this on that deer hunt?
No, this was elk hunt up in the Uintas.
Okay.
And right as I get to the edge of this huge canyon that he went down in, I'm like, I just can't go any farther after this guy. I'm not going to go down in the steep ass canyon with snow. So I turn around, and as soon as I turn around, it starts dumping snow. And I was at the edge of this big open field, so I just followed my footsteps. But I knew that I had tracked him, like the road was running kind of parallel to the way that I was tracking him out into this field. So I followed my footsteps back for maybe like a half a mile, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to the road. And then I walked for like an hour. It's like, this road has got to be here somewhere. And then I popped back out of the trees, and I'm right at that same freaking field.
Just did a circle.
And I did a gigantic circle. I couldn't even believe it. I'd been walking.
It's pretty common when you get lost, seems like.
And it was just like a straight whiteout snowstorm. So then it's like, okay, got to keep calm here, buddy. It's getting dark now.
I'm saying, if you're by yourself, it gets crazy.
Yeah. And I thought I had lost my phone, because I was like, oh my God, I lost my phone. I had left it in the friggin' truck.
Oh no.
But my wife, we were at the sporting goods store the week before I came, and she's just like, she'd never been hunting. She didn't know what's going on. She just pulls a compass off the shelf, and she says, "Don't you need one of these?" I was like, "No, I got my phone. It's got a GPS."
Just an old school
an Onyx. Damn compass.
Yeah.
She's like, "You never know. Just take it."
Yeah.
And so
you had that.
I grabbed the compass out, and since I was a kid, I never used a compass. I didn't know how to use the damn thing. I put it in my hand, and I'm turning around like this, and it was like my body had a magnetic charge. and everywhere I turned was north.
Uh-oh.
So then I'm like really freaking out. I'm like, I'm totally housed. And then I just set it on the snow, and it goes north. So then I'm like, okay, I know. Now I know which way the road is. And then I would just get a little bit farther, and I'd set it on the snow. And then it took me back.
Great
but I made
story.
it,
And that
made
got
it
you
back to the road right at dark. And my dad was like, he was maybe how your dad was.
Yeah.
It's like, if this goes any longer, my son's going to be out here in the snow all night.
Yeah.
And I'm out here by myself too.
It can turn bad in a hurry.
Did you have your pack?
Yeah.
So you at least had something in you.
Yeah, I mean,
Still would have been a
I
miserable
would have had
night,
water.
dude.
It would have been miserable, but I've never had to do anything crazy like that. But I always tell my kids, you ever get in a situation, we are not the kind of people that are just going to sit there and die.
Yeah.
You'll suffer. It'll be hard, but you're not going to sit there and die, are you?
Right.
Hell no.
Yeah.
If I got stuck, I wasn't going to die.
Right.
It would suck though.
You know what's funny is the greatest hunts that we remember aren't the trophies. It's how close we came to
The
dying.
adventure. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Always say you feel like you're most alive right when you're really close to death.
It's true.
It's like closer you are, the more alive you become.
Yeah, rule of thumb, never leave your pack. And you don't need as much as you think you do in the pack either, but you need a few things. You got to have a way to build a fire, have a knife, have some rope, way to make some shelter. If you got those things,
My buddies
what
always
else would you say, Mr. Guy?
my buddies always give me a hard time over my pack's so heavy. I'm like, man, I'm good if I got to spend the night on the mountain.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll even
My
carry-
philosophy is I just hunt with somebody like you, and then you have all my stuff. So I tell Adam Kickbush, right, or our tech guy, because he always has like two of everything. So I'm just going to hunt with you.
Yeah.
I'm covered.
All I need is water.
Exactly. I'll just follow you everywhere.
Yeah, I think having a way to filter water is good.
Yeah, filtered water's good. Yep, got to have that. Yeah, but you've been to Alaska a few times.
Yeah,
Where's been the most adventurous hunts? Has it been Alaska?
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Africa's totally different, but Alaska, went moose hunting 3 times. Well, actually 4 times. The first time I went, I learned my lesson that doing a cheap hunt isn't the best thing to do. So came home, did my homework, found a place to go with the transporter, and it was awesome. Every guy filled. We went 3 different times. I went 3 different times, 3 different groups. And the first time you go somewhere, it's always the adventure of the newness.
Yeah.
And learning the area and just the whole taking it all in and learning how to hunt it, which is it's just fun having that strategy that the next time you go, you're that much further ahead. But yeah, moose hunting in Alaska is as extreme as it gets. The weather, we get in a float plane, we're 100 miles from a town with a tent and a few, a Coleman stove and a blow-up boat, and
The bears out there.
Yeah.
And wolves.
and one tent. We had 4 guys in a 6-man tent. It was like sardines, and
It's kind of deceiving though.
yeah,
Once you've tried to stuff 4 people in a 6-man tent, it's like this is
It ain't
way
a 6-man
deceiving.
tent.
this ain't a 6-man tent.
That's terrible marketing.
Maybe
It's true.
6 Guatemalans maybe would fit in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just being away from everything, we're pretty lucky. I mean, we've got stuff now, satellite phones and stuff to kind of keep us where we're in check. But we went out that first day, and you can't, when you fly in, you can't shoot anything that first day. But man, we went out and the weather was perfect. We saw 2 giant bulls that we would have shot in a second. One had some trash hanging down. One was all 75 inches wide. And so the next day it was raining, and there was 4 of us in that tent. We're not going to sit in this tent all day. I don't care if it's raining. Well, 2 of us decided we were going to go hunting. We're like,
Could you see, or was it fogged in?
oh, it was. We could see, but it was just raining.
Yeah.
And there was some fog. And where we were, it was really flat. But we told the guys, hey, we like the glass, so they sent us to this place that had a hill to it, so we could see some area. So 2 of the guys stayed back. Me and my buddy Jesse, we went, and it's all new, you know, where we're going. And we've got this blow-up boat raft with a 15 horsepower motor on it. We're driving down this slough, and we kind of were going to go where we saw that big 75 incher. We hike in there, and well, they killed a couple of moose in camp. They were in at the main camp when we came in, and we saw them. They were probably like 50-inch bulls. And there's no stipulations like where we were hunting. You can shoot any bull. So
Normally they got like a brow tine.
yeah, you got to have like 4 brow tines or 50 inches wide. So we didn't have to worry about that. But we got up there and we got into a herd of a herd of moose, and one of them was 55 inches. I'm like, man, we got to shoot that. One of us needs to shoot that. And we just took the one gun between us. We took my 338 Ultra Mag, and Jesse's like, I want that 75 incher. I'm like, well, that one's nice. I said, well, we can't let that one walk. So I was getting ready to shoot that one, and all of a sudden he taps me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, there's my bull right there. And I look over there, and there's this 70-inch bull, like, you know, I mean, 100 yards, 150 yards away. And he's just walking like a dinosaur. And I'm like, well, this is my gun. I said, your bull, but oh well. So I give him the gun. He put that one down, gives me the gun. I take about 15 steps and I put the other one down.
It's
So,
two giant.
2 moose.
People have no idea how big these Yukon moose are.
Yeah.
They're like intimidatingly giant,
They
prehistoric.
really are like dinosaurs.
I mean, they'd be like
Hooves are like this.
it would be like a Clydesdale, like an 18-hand Clydesdale is what it would be comparable to. So we have no, this is our first time. We
A
have
lot
no,
of meat.
we've never seen a moose down. We go over there, we're like, holy cow, what are we going to do? We got 2 of them down.
Yeah, how you gonna get them back to camp?
Were there just 2 of you hunting? Or
Yeah, just 2 of us. The other 2 guys are back at camp, but they're no good because
Oh, yeah, that's right.
they don't have a boat to get to where we are.
Is it still raining at this point?
Yeah, it's still raining and
My
blowing.
goodness.
In fact, I'll show you guys a video. So, you know, we seemed like 2 hours taking pictures because it's the greatest day of our life. We two big bulls down within 100 yards of each other, within a minute and a half of shooting them. Dumbest thing I've ever done. So we go and we break down my bull. We get it all broke down, and it's getting dark. The wind's blowing and it's raining, and it starts to get cold. And then, so we go start breaking down that other bull, and I started cramping. I never really had this happen to me, but you know, when you're pulling that skin and everything, I grab it and I just like cramp up. I was just like, holy cow, we're 1.5 miles in here in the dark. It's raining. It's getting cold. First time I was a little worried, like, hey, I might have to not make it off if I start cramping my legs or whatever. So I'm like, hey, we better just finish this in the morning. So, you know, we had the Garmin that we could send to inReach. So we sent to a text to our buddies. Yeah, we got 2 bulls down. He didn't believe us. It's Troy Hance.
Mhm.
So he said once it got to be about an hour after dark, he kind of believed us. But driving back, the rain was so hard, could hardly see where we were going. First time we've been in that slough and driving that boat in that slough and just with the flashlight trying to find, we had a little spot that we pulled out to get into. I'm like, man, if we miss that, we're going to just keep driving forever. But yeah, I mean, I got cold that night. I don't get cold very often, but I got cold that night and a little worried maybe, which doesn't happen.
You know the cold that gets you. It's not the frigid cold. It's the slow cold that you don't realize it's that
Yeah.
cold. That's what gets you high.
It just changes on you slow.
And you all of a sudden realize how cold you are. It like sneaks up on you.
And if you're hiking, it's okay. But when you're sitting in a boat driving, man, it gets cold.
And if it's super cold, you know it's cold. But if it's just kind of that easing into it type cold, that's the stuff I think that gets people in trouble as much as about anything. And Alaska's crazy because, so I was up there in August one year, and we were sheep hunting. And the sheep hunt starts August 1st. So, you know, here it's 110 degrees. And we got up there, and it was actually a sheep, caribou, bear combo. So we could get all of them if we saw them all right. So actually the first week we were up there, we just hunted bears on the river bottoms, and it was like 90 degrees in Alaska. It was miserable. So we were there for like 4 or 5 days in the river bottoms. I go, you know what? Let's just go up into sheep country. Even though it was before sheep season open. Let's just get out of here because it was all the bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
Down there bugs. And yeah, we got up into sheep country, and then like you, there were 3 of us, and we had like maybe a 3-man tent. And a few days later, it just starts. We get up there, and it's the day, I can't remember. I think it was the day before opening day. And just the rain comes in, it's fogged in. We can't hunt, so we're just stuck in this 3-man tent with 3 of us all day, all night, all day. The next day, like 3 days, and there's nothing you can do, right? You can't see anything. But anyway, then the next day we get up and it's snowing, so it goes from 90 degrees to snowing within a few days, And but that was a fun hunt. We ended up that opening day went up and we got within like 40 yards of 5 doll sheep rams, and they were just like right there, but none of them were quite big enough to be legal. But we saw a nice caribou a couple days prior that I would have shot that day, but we were going for sheep, so we didn't. But after we saw those rams, and we took us a couple days to get into this area. We didn't want to go another couple days and maybe miss getting anything else. So I said, let's go kill that caribou, and then we'll regroup and go get on some other sheep. So we were coming back to camp and got into the big valley where we saw the caribou a couple days prior, and just started using our glass to glass up whatever. And we saw the caribou. So we go, let's go make a play on him. And as we were doing that, we saw a grizzly bear coming in and putting a stalk on the caribou, on the herd of caribou that we were going to go after. And obviously had a bear tag too. So, well, there's a bear. Let's go get the bear. So we bailed off the mountain and got to the bottom, and that bear was coming like straight at us. He was like 400 yards away. So shot the bear, which was cool. And then same thing, got the caribou like an hour later.
Oh,
Same type of thing.
Just how you
Dumbest thing
drew
we
it
ever
up.
did.
so how many people did you have?
2 or 3 of us. But there's another thing. We were like probably 12 miles from an airstrip, and it was rough 12 miles. Like we had to cross multiple rivers. I mean,
So you had to pack all those animals 12
with
miles
3 of
out?
us.
Yeah, you're dumb.
So our packs were
That's crazy.
110 pounds probably. Yeah, it took us 4 days to get out.
And in Alaska, you got to bring everything out.
And we had everything. We had
Yeah.
we were living on our backs. Like
Ribs.
Because they dropped us off the airstrip, walked in 12 miles. I mean, I've done Ironmans and stuff. That was the hardest thing I've ever done.
That's what I could never imagine running a marathon, but packing a moose quarter 2 miles. That's quite the feat. And I remember before I was going up there, I was kind of getting psyched out thinking about it because people tell you're going to be wet for 10 days, you're going to cramp up, you're going to sleep in a wet sleeping bag. I'm like, this sounds miserable.
But you're never dry.
This sounds miserable.
Yeah.
They were lying. It wasn't that bad.
But you're never dry. At least I was never dry when I was up there. My feet were always wet. Just you don't even try to stay dry because you're not going to. You just have to have clothes that keep you warm when you're wet. That's how it was for me anyway.
Yeah. We were in waders all the time, so that kind of helped.
Yeah.
Not so much on the tundra, like probably where you were.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you let elk hunting too.
Yeah.
Yeah. To you, elk hunting is just kind
It's
of
boring.
It's boring to you.
Yeah.
I love elk hunting.
Yeah.
Jefferson's dad drew out this year.
I know. He called me. I was excited.
Yeah. So it's up in your country. Be fun.
It seems like yesterday when his dad shot a bull out there, 2010 or 11? Lucky guy gets to do it twice.
Yeah. Jeffrey, he went hunting a couple years. Was it 2 years ago?
Yep, 2 years.
Archery hunting.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. We went and hunted in Montana.
Yep. Need to go do that again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was. It's one of those things too. Like you picture how it's going to be, and then when the actual moment comes where it's time to make a shot on an animal,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the same as you might think. There's no duplicating that,
Yeah.
Serious.
And I remember, we were pretty in a good area. We had multiple shot opportunities. I got really lucky first day and just happened to have a bull come in. It came in 80 yards and shot him, got him first. One arrow, he was done. And then you'd never hunted before, and I had a couple shots. And
Are we going back next year?
yeah, you guys just got to draw.
Yeah, I got to draw.
But
Yeah.
We did the right steps to draw next
You guys
didn't
for
we?
sure should draw.
Yeah.
I don't have any points because I tried to draw this year without any points, and I didn't do there's a couple
Dang
different
it.
options, so I might have messed myself up. But
Dang it.
I'm like, but I should get an elk tag this year and next year I should. So I've got some good opportunities.
Get a spike tag?
Maybe no, yeah, maybe Colorado this year should. Arizona next year, Wyoming. I've got enough points. I should have a good elk hunt every year the next few years. Should.
I think I'm going to do that multi-season. So I can go back out to
Yeah.
Southwest.
Yeah. And, you know, I've got such mixed feelings on that because that spike hunt really messed up hunting out there. But it's the only thing that you can kind of have a little family tradition like when we grew up,
Yeah.
sitting around a campfire.
Yeah.
And to me, that's priceless. Like, you've got to have that somehow. And so as much as I hate the spike hunt, I kind of love hate.
Yeah.
Because these kids, they just don't have any options to really go out and have a hunting experience like we grew up doing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and then for me, like, once we couldn't draw stuff, like, that's mainly why I started to guide, was because it gave me a reason to be in the hills, pretty much do everything but pull the trigger,
Mm-hmm.
and then to give somebody an experience that they wouldn't get, and then have that memory. I mean, so many memories are made in the hills that we just don't forget.
Yeah.
And people, it gets emotional. And then you see people years later, and it's like, you know, it's pretty special.
It is. Yeah, you go hunting with somebody for a few days, a week. There's just
Talking about that.
yeah, there's just bonds that happen that you don't get anywhere else. And the harder the hunt, the better the bonds too.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's like those Alaska adventures there's so much commitment to it, because there's the financial commitment, the time commitment away. You got to have all your gear. There's a lot to that, you know. But for those who have an opportunity to go do an adventure like that, I mean, it's life changing.
One thing I learned too with guiding some of these guys that can buy tags every year, they're not worried about like us. It's like, hey, this is my once in a lifetime. I got to come home with something.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would hunt our guts out for 10 days, and he wouldn't pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And we're passing 385 bulls back in the day. And I'm like, man, just shoot one. Let's get a picture. Let's have something to remember this great time with. And he kind of taught me, like, you don't have to do that to have a great time. And that bull is 385. He might be 405 next year.
Yeah.
And I'll have the same tag again, So kind of taught me a lot about hunting. Just isn't about going home with something in the truck and having a picture.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess for some it is, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think they're missing out on a lot by just thinking of it that way. Because even just going out and having an opportunity to be out there and have those shot opportunities and even if it doesn't work out, it can still be a success. I saw a guy this last week. He was up in Alaska, and he was going after a 10-foot brown bear, which is with a bow. And it was his third time up there, and that's just been his goal.
Yeah.
And he's been up there 3 times, and he didn't get one again this year. But he goes, "It's time of my life. It's been great to be up here and experience this." And
And then when he does get it, just the emotions that you see people like, man, this guy's put so much effort into this. And even if it's not a giant, it's that he was successful.
yeah,
And it gets emotional.
it does.
You can't help it.
Yeah. And bear hunting season's right now for a lot of people up in Canada, and yeah.
But,
next
I mean, out of everything I've hunted, my favorite thing to hunt are coyotes.
I agree.
Really?
What is it about coyotes you like the most?
You like the sitting down part?
Yeah. I like the riding around with Brandon in the truck part. No, I mean, the whole thing with coyote hunting is you're going into their neck of the woods, into their home, and somehow you're swindling them and talking them into coming out, and you're mimicking you're fooling them.
Yeah.
And they come out, and just because they come out doesn't mean you're going to get them.
Yeah.
Like, it is game on until they're on the ground. And it's kind of like bow hunting, but a little different. With bow hunting, you up your game a ton compared to rifle hunting. Same thing with coyote hunting. It's just a little bit different, though. I mean, you kind of learn that you can get away with a few things, but man, I'll tell you, you start, this is how you look when you look to the left, you're just slow, and everything's just, and the stratagem that goes into every stand, and you learn something from every stand. And I mean, how many times that you learn lessons? Remember one time getting into a stand and not having my stock extended and calling a coyote, and he was there in 10 seconds, and I couldn't get that stock to my shoulder to get it right on my scope, and I didn't get him.
Yeah.
Or one time I didn't have, I thought, I didn't jack a shelling before I went. Well, I started my call. Oh, I got a bush shelling, so I jacked my AR back, but I didn't jack it real hard, and I didn't know what a bolt assist was. So one came in, click. What? Just so many little lessons like that you learn.
Sure.
Like how many of them get away.
Oh yeah.
And then the guys that have, if you can kill coyotes, man, you can kill anything. You're a sniper.
Yeah.
You're a sniper. You're a killer. Those are the kind of guys you want on your team.
Yeah. No, it is. I agree. That's my favorite thing too. They're predators. Predators are,
Smart.
they're smart. Not to say like a big mule deer too. I mean,
Yeah, that's the other
hard
one.
too. That's the other one's hard.
That might be my favorite too.
Yeah.
I'm lied. Big mule deers.
Now, look, if anything's in the rut, mule deer and elk, they get dumber for sure. But if they're not in the rut, you try to kill a giant mule deer that's not in the rut, even in the rut, but not in the rut, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's tough, Elk you can usually call in, if they're in the rut. But even a big bull elk, if it's not in the rut, they're tough to kill, tough to find.
A little bit of luck too sometimes.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of luck. Yeah.
But coyote, you don't gotta draw out.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them's a shooter.
Yeah.
And
Don't have to judge them.
Yeah, and you really don't have to do anything with them when you're done with them.
Yeah.
You're doing your part in saving the herd.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people realize how much havoc they cause
Oh,
on cattle and other animals and need to be managed. And so, you feel like you're doing a good service.
yeah, I went on a horse ride once up by Kusharam, and I bet I saw 15 dead fawns one time.
Dang.
I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So are they as many coyotes as you guys have killed, and that I know other people killed it? How do they keep producing so many more? 'Cause I
That's
still see
amazing.
them all the time.
That is what is amazing. I mean, I've heard, I don't know if this is true, I've heard the more they get killed, the more they reproduce. And
It's so silly.
And I don't know. And they'll have like more than one litter a year too.
They say if the more coyote howls they hear, the less babies they have. The less coyote howls they hear, they have more babies. I mean, I've heard all
It might be
kinds.
true.
I've heard all kinds of stuff. Like
I don't know.
I don't know.
I do know that I can pretty much remember every single coyote I've killed. I've killed a lot of coyotes. I can probably, yeah, I'm not kidding.
Dang, dude.
Like just my memory. It's like one of those core memories.
I thought you've killed a lot of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He can count them on his
I
fingers.
really
That's
think.
about it.
I really think.
No,
I
as
could-
many as you've killed, dude. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And you know why? It's because he, afterwards, just the couple times that I've been out with you, you analyze everything that you did and what you could have done better.
Every time.
So I imagine you've got a story behind each one, and you remember each one because there was something that you remember that you could have done better, whether it was the way you were facing or the wind or the time of day or the way that you were,
For sure.
moving your head.
And that brings up, I can remember everyone I haven't killed too.
Yeah.
Maybe even more so.
And here's the hard
Or
part.
the ones I
like,
missed.
Yeah.
Those I really remember.
how many people want to go with you?
Oh, that's
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
a lot
you
of
get people
ask.
want to go and you're like, oh man.
A lot of people ask. That's why you had to interview me.
I don't. Yeah, I had to make sure you're worthy. but it's like it's like I love sharing those kind of things with people, but it's just got to be the right people.
Yeah.
And I've been out with people like I want to take them and have this experience with them, and I get pissed because they're moving around. Here comes a dog, and it's like, oh, here comes a dog. There goes the dog. And so it's frustrating. Because you know how hard it is. I mean, how many times you go out and you get skunked? I mean, well, sometimes you'll go out 5 days and get skunked. And every opportunity's big and important. So I've said some colorful things to some buddies and kids that I normally wouldn't. But hey, I took my kids to Arizona once, and we called in one every stand, and they just couldn't get it done. And I got colorful.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't see a dog one time, so I'm like, give me the gun. 300 yards, I shot it. So I'm
You want it done-
super
done-
competitive.
If you want it done right, you got to do it yourself.
Super competitive. I don't think there's anything in life more competitive than hunting. I mean, you're going into there, it's game on, and it's super competitive. I used to play sports, and that doesn't work so well anymore.
Yeah.
Even more so today than ever before. You go on the rifle hunt, you can see orange all over the mountains now.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, that's one thing. You're not only competing against the other hunters. You're competing against the animal.
Yeah.
So it's and there's that's the other thing we haven't talked about too. You can get a lot of drama in hunting.
Can.
Two guys shooting at the same deer. Who shot that? I mean,
Over the same area.
how many stories have we heard that
We had
about
one,
that?
last year, me and my son went out and we watched this thing from 700 yards, and it finally came within 300 yards from us, and I'm setting my son up, and it's really, the first time he's been hunting himself. He's been with me a bunch of times, but had never had a rifle in his hand, and I was so excited. The wind was howling like crazy, but we were within 300 yards, and he's using a 300 Win Mag. He was going to smoke it.
Slam dunk.
And as soon as we get set up, boom, we heard a shot.
Someone
And
shot you.
someone else freaking shot that spike right in front of us. And it ran, it ran like 100 yards and died right there. And we were just both looking at each other like we were this close.
Yeah.
We've all got those stories. I think I remember when I was a kid up there in Fish Lake. I was probably 8 years old, and my dad shot at a buck, and another guy shot at a buck, and we were, I'd maybe only seen one buck hit the ground before, and we went up, met the hunter there, and it was just a little 2-point, and I was arguing, Dad, you fell when you shot, and my dad was just like, hey, let's just let this guy take it. I'm like, Dad, this is our buck. We get done, he's like, we didn't want to pack that thing out, 2 miles. Like, what are you thinking, son? He's just a little 2-point. Let that guy do it. I'm like,
That's my dad's buck.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I was like ready to fight for it.
Yeah. We had the same thing happen. My dad, my uncle, and I up by just north of here, Panguage, not Panguage, Parowan, Bear Valley, up in there. And same type of thing. My uncle shot, nice deer, drops this deer. This is like 300 yards away. Back then, it was a long shot, right? And another guy was shooting across the canyon with like a 30-30. But they were like 450 yards away. At a 30-30, my uncle was 25-06. So we see it drop. We walk over there, like 28-inch, nice 4x4, really nice deer. Anyway, we're over there, and the guy goes, actually, they beat us there. They ran over there, got to it first, and they were already gutting it and stuff. We're like, that's his deer, dude. Anyway, my uncle let it go. I'm like, dude, that was a nice deer. I would have fought for that one. He hit it. But yeah, anyway, that happens.
I mean, I've had a couple of, another one that comes to mind is I had my bison tag on the Henrys. It was a cow. And I teamed up with another hunter. We kind of were scouting the same area, and we saw the same herd, and we're like, hey, let's team up rather than mess it up. Let's team up and go in tomorrow where we know the herd is. So we go in there, and we start reading the wind, and we get the wind, and we start following. Well, somebody else came in behind us, and they didn't care about the wind, so they just went straight at them. And we had kind of worked our way anyways. We were set up, and it's hard to, when you got 50 head of buffalo, it's hard to find the cow. But anyways, these guys were behind us, and they started shooting over us. And they shot at the herd. There was probably 50 head in there, and they went over the mountain. We met up with the guys, and he's trying to tell me, like, hey, why don't you guys, I think the herd went this way. Why don't you guys go around there, and we'll go this way? I'm like, whatever. So we went straight at him, and he was shooting a 45-70 with like a 20 power scope on it. Made no sense. So anyways, we get up there, and we couldn't find him, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden a buffalo just starts coming right down the trail at us. And so I got on it, and the guy's like, I go, as soon as it turns, you tell me if it's a cow or whatever. Anyways, so I shot it. It was a cow. And I went over and I put my orange on it, and we went after the herd because with his tags, we went. Anyways, so we come back. Those guys that shot at the herd with the 45-70 are sitting on that buffalo taking pictures. And I'm like, what are you guys
The
doing?
one you just shot?
Yeah. I'm like, what are you
You
guys
put your
doing?
orange on it?
Yeah. I'm like, that's my buffalo. What are you guys doing? Oh, well, this is the one that we hit when we shot. I'm like, you kidding me? That's why it was wounded. We had a guy up on the hill that said, I'm like, all right, if you can find some blood, I mean, this buffalo was fine. If you can find some blood, then before this, big bloody spot that I created, then I'll let you have it. Well, they looked for like 20 minutes and finally like, hey, come here, look. There's a couple drops of blood. I go, is this really how you want your hunt to be? He had his kid with him and stuff. He's like, thanks so much. He sticks his hand out, shakes my hand. I was like, are you kidding me? And I was talking to my dad on the radio. I'm like, so bad. And he's like, hey.
Just let him have it.
He's like, hey, let him have it. We'll go shoot another one.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Hunt continues.
Yeah.
That's one thing about archery. That doesn't happen in archery because you're close enough and you know
Yeah.
who shot it, right? So it's a good thing about archery, I guess.
Actually, I've seen it happen with archery.
Have you?
Same kind of just crazy behavior from hunters.
Huh.
Just entitlement and weird, like claiming things. And it wasn't quite dead yet, bedded down, so they went and put a
Another
couple more
arrow.
arrows in it while it was bedded down.
While I was dying.
And then the other guy gets there and he's like, there it is. And then here comes this other group. There it is. We got him.
Huh.
It still happens.
Crazy.
It is crazy. Things that happen in
Nuts.
hunting.
Well, last question I'll ask you. What would you say, a couple things that have contributed to you living the life that you've lived up to this point? Great marriage, great kids. Obviously, we've talked a lot about hunting today, mostly. But tell us what.
Man, you're trying to make me cry?
No, I'm just.
So
You're a good man. I want to.
I think, 100% it's parents and wife. I mean, that's what,
How you were raised.
yeah. I didn't want to disappoint my kids or my wife. I didn't want to disappoint my parents when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a pretty good kid. And then I don't want to disappoint my wife, even though I do every day now. You know how that is, right? But I mean, those three people are why I am who I am.
All right.
My dad taught me how to work. My mom taught me how to be honest. My wife just is pretty dang perfect.
Yeah.
And then I've got my kids that are as good as it gets. And I have the outlook on life that everything I do or everything that I have is the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not, but I mean, I don't want to go drive a brand new Polaris Razor because I don't want to know what I'm missing. I think that my old 2015 is great. It's the best Razor there is.
You're
So
great. You're grateful.
yeah, and I just my kids, I think they're the best. My wife's the best. My dog's the best. My horses are the best. I don't, I'm pretty content.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's a good mindset to have to stay happy.
Yeah. You always seem like to me that you're content in living in the now too. You just enjoy now. Would you agree with that? You're very present.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
get
I mean,
out-
I've loved sports. I love basketball. And that's what I did as a kid too. That kept me out of trouble.
Mhm.
Some of my, back to I've always you're only as good as your friends are. So pick your friends wise,
Yeah.
and your friends kind of make you who you are.
Yeah.
And,
That reminds me too. You've guided some pretty cool people too. Bo Jackson being one of them.
yeah,
Got relationships with guys like that.
that was kind of fun.
And that's something that in the hunting world too, when you're in that type of whether you're a guide or just in that, just the relationships that you come across are pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how it's like a chain. Like you meet one guy, an opportunity, they meet you to another. Just like I'm going to Normandy to this next week for D-Day
Mm-hmm.
with a guy that I met hunting
Mm-hmm.
through hunting. So it's a great, I don't know, it's a great.
Which just surprises me if they come and spend that much time with you, they'd actually want to keep hanging with you.
I know.
But that's just really weird to me.
You're the only one that doesn't want it. I can't figure it out.
It's an anomaly. I can't figure it out. Anyway.
I kind of quit trying.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Solid Podcast. Hope you enjoyed this. A little bit different than we normally do, talking about hunting. If you like hunting, you might like it. If you don't like hunting, hopefully you still like it. Please like and subscribe, share with those you know and you care about. And until next time, stay solid.